So, thank you, everyone. May I have the good privilege and opportunity to welcome everyone to this very important webinar discussion and interactive forum, which has been established and founded by Sujit Kumar's MP's office with a purpose to take the dialogue and make the dialogue between Odisha and its possibilities, global possibilities, and also look at development in the context of sustainable development goals and find out what are the possible ways and means to improve our public policy, improve our development. So this is kind of an extension when the COVID-19 happened. This is kind of an extension which Mr. Sujit Kumar, the Honorable MP Rajya Sabha, started Kalahandi Development Dialogue, the forum. So in the Kalahandi Development Dialogue, in that, this is an extension of that. So welcome to the Global Development Dialogue Forum, where we have partners in this session from CII, the MP office is the organizer. May I thank everyone for joining. This session today is all about exploring the opportunity of economic and investment possibility between Odisha and Taiwan from both sides. So today we have fantastic experts who are day in and day out working in both spectrums of Odisha and Taiwan to promote each other in different platforms. So we'll be shortly joined by the Director IPICOL, Dr. Nitin Jawale, who is an IS officer, senior IS officer, with the responsibility to take Odisha's partnership beyond Odisha's borders. So may I thank Sujit Kumar for presenting this seminar in the context of and possibility that Odisha can contribute to the Odisha and Taiwan relationship can contribute to strengthen the India and Taiwan ties in general, and in particular, we're looking forward to how Odisha can also invite economic opportunity and investment from Taiwan, and in return can also develop a business and trade ties with Taiwan as well. So with this brief background, may I request Mr. Sujit Kumar, who is the Rajya Sabha MP. I will briefly introduce him to people who may not know him personally, might have heard about him. And he is the Rajya Sabha MP from Odisha, also a member of Consultative Committee of Ministry of External Affairs, a graduate of Harvard Kennedy School and Oxford Said Business School, someone who has worked with World Economic Forum in Geneva to coordinate, support, extend guidance to startups in Odisha and beyond, and a lawyer, a trained lawyer who has deep interest in technology, partnership, trade, and all that. He also started something from the Lex Manta platform. He has been a guidance there and said that pro bono, we need to support self-help groups and women startups as well. So we have partnered with Sri University in that context, also with Xavier University of Sustainability to train more women students and professionals to develop startups as well. So that is the ongoing project. So this is a brief introduction about Sujit Kumar. I would request MP Sir Sujit Kumar to provide a brief introduction and also the rationale for GDD and what we are expecting from this platform. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Das. Good morning, everyone, and namaste, as we say in India. His Excellency Mr. Baushaun Ger, Dr. Jawale, who has not yet joined, I guess, Mr. Steve Liu from the World Trade Center, Calcutta, Ms. Monica Nair Patnaik, Mr. Gautam Ghosh, and all the participants in today's discussion. Let me begin by wishing you all good health and safety in these difficult and challenging times. I would like to start by expressing my deepest gratitude to the government and people of Taiwan who have stood beside India in its greatest hour of need. For the sake of participants, I would like to mention that Taiwan is a small landmass, small country, with a population of about 24 million, but has been a shining light of excellent COVID management and has helped over 80 countries in this crisis, which has originated in Wuhan, China. 80 countries, right, Your Excellency, Ger? So thank you on behalf of people of India. The Global Development Dialogue, as Professor Das was just outlining, is a thought leadership platform which was initiated last year by my office to convene stakeholders from various walks of life and to have meaningful discussions on critical important issues that will have regional and global impact and relevance. In fact, the origin of this the platform dates to 2018, where we had hosted something called Kalahandi Dialogue in the district of Kalahandi, where I hail from. And we had convened about 500 leaders from across the globe. All of them had to travel to Kalahandi to participate in a 3-day discourse on topics of geopolitics, development, poverty, so on and so forth. And because of COVID, we didn't, of course, that was supposed to be a biennial event, but because of COVID, we couldn't have it in 2020. And then we thought, why not make it a virtual platform so that we can A, convene more number of stakeholders, and B, do it more frequently. So now we are doing it, we are trying to do it bi-monthly and on topics of varied sectors and subjects. And today's topic is a part of that series. It was Victor Hugo, the French poet and philosopher, who had said, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come, or no force in the world can stop an idea whose time has come, something on those lines. And I think Indo-Taiwan partnership is truly an idea whose time has come. In fact, it's long overdue. There's so much in common between the two countries of India and Taiwan. And I'm surprised that the two countries have not actually explored the potential. Both are vibrant, robust, and functioning democracies. Both nations share common values like rule of law, human rights, respect for the international rules-based order. Both are thriving economies, and both face a common adversary, a common, belligerent, aggressive, and adversary who is displaying very ugly behavior. I had the privilege of visiting Taipei, Your Excellency, in 2009, and I must tell you that your people are very friendly and welcoming towards Indians. So despite having so much in common, I'm extremely surprised and saddened to note that the two countries have not lived up to its potential. The bilateral engagement, to give some examples, the bilateral engagement between India and Taiwan is just around $5 billion. It's a fraction of what it could be. Very few Taiwanese tourists visit India, and the numbers of tourists that visit Odisha would be probably a handful, and vice versa. Very few Indian tourists visit Taiwan. So the number of Taiwanese companies that are invested or having some operations in India is just 200, whereas you have about 100,000, 1 lakh Taiwanese companies in mainland China. So that's the gap that we are talking about. However, it is heartening to note that recently both the countries have come closer. There has been strong political will on display to augment and strengthen this partnership and relationship. There's plenty of room for people-to-people contact, for academic and cultural exchanges, for technical cooperation, and and for the two countries to boost their ties. But the greatest promise, in my view, is in boosting the trade ties, the economic partnership, the commercial, the investment potential that exists between the two countries. And I'm glad that the TECC, the Taiwan Economic and Cultural Center, and the ITA, Indian Taipei Association, both of which are de facto embassies in the respective countries, have signed a number of MOUs and bilateral agreements in the last few years to enhance partnerships, commercial and trade partnerships between the two countries in sectors such as food processing, SME cooperation, education, marine products, and so on and so forth. India is a massive country. In India, bulk of this potential actually exists in the provincial or what we call the sub-national level, the state level. India's Act East policy already provides a framework for states in the eastern and the northeastern part of India to explore possibilities with Southeast Asia. And I think this same framework offers a concrete platform and a massive opportunity for states like Odisha to significantly engage with a nation like Taiwan. And this is where today's webinar is so pertinent, because we have a large number of entrepreneurs and business owners from Odisha and outside the state as well, who are participating and who are keen to explore these opportunities. In fact, the idea for today's webinar came from one of our entrepreneur friend in Odisha, who suggested that we should initiate a discussion to explore the possibilities between Odisha and Taiwan. Odisha is truly India's best kept secret. That is in fact the tagline of Odisha tourism, India's best kept secret. I hope that it doesn't remain secret forever. But honestly, it is one of the most underrated stories of India. We have a very business friendly and brilliant investment climate. We have a stable government which is very friendly towards enterprise. We have the growth rate better than the national average, and the state continues to attract large foreign investments. We are consistently ranked in the top 3 states in terms of the investments and the implementation of projects. We have a well-trained workforce. We have an industry-ready infrastructure. I can go on and on, but the point why I'm speaking so much about Odisha is to give you a flavor as to the possibilities that exist in a state like Odisha, which is not much talked about, unlike a Gujarat or Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra, but probably has even better opportunities. Dr. Jawale and Monica, who are here, can give you and illustrate deeper and better picture of the possibilities in the state and the possibilities that lies for the two entities to engage. Similarly, Taiwan, as we probably all know, is known for its innovation, known for its product, particularly in the field of electronics, in the field of food processing, in the field of IT, and then there's a lot of potential in India for the MSMEs and for the entrepreneurs to reach out to these innovations and the innovators in Taiwan to develop their ventures and enterprises in India, particularly in Odisha. Odisha-based entrepreneurs and enterprises should leverage this opportunity. Taiwan is also known for its global footprint, in supply chain and high-end technological products. I'm told that there are few Taiwanese companies, in fact, many, not few, there are many Taiwanese companies who are looking to, move their manufacturing facilities out of China, and they're looking at India and other Southeast Asian nations. So this is another opportunity where we should probably take the lead. And steel, engineering, construction, or other sectors where Taiwanese companies are looking at India. And Odisha being a mining and minerally rich state and being a steel hub of India, I think it again offers immense possibilities for the two entities, for the nation of Taiwan and the state of Odisha. I'll conclude by just saying that, as New Delhi and Taipei come closer to each other in terms of technical cooperation, in terms of people-to-people contact, in terms of bilateral investments, in terms of diplomatic engagement, I think Odisha has the capacity and willingness to contribute. And today's webinar, I think, is part of that process by initiating a discussion on the challenges and opportunities that lie between Odisha and Taiwan. I think today's webinar will be greatly helpful in driving and propelling a thriving economic partnership between Taiwan and the state of Odisha. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Sir, Sujit Kumar, and you have actually set the tone of the discussion for today, not only for today, maybe for a series of discussions that we can have on the same topic, looking at different sectors specifically maybe. But today we will get an overview and also what are the possibilities and what are the challenges and how to meet them. Thank you for setting the tone so fantastically so that our expert speakers will perhaps attend to those questions and concerns as well, and our willingness to partner with Taiwan in real-time basis. So may I request Ambassador Baushaun to make his speech, and before Ambassador Baushaun starts his presentation, I would like to give a brief introduction about his work and about his little bit of career as well. So His Excellency Mr. Baushaun Ger, the Ambassador, who is representing Taiwan government at the Taipei Economic and Cultural Center in India, New Delhi, has been a career diplomat and was Director General recently till 2020 before he got posted to the Indian Taipei Economic and Cultural Center, was Department of East Asian and Pacific Affairs with the Minister of Foreign Affairs MOFA, Government of Taiwan. Before that, he was also Republic of China, which is the official name of Taiwan, with Ambassador of Taiwan to St. Vincent and Grenadines, and earlier to that, Director General Taipei and Economic Cultural Office in Chicago. So with wide-scale experience of working in Europe and working in America, and now he's back to Asia and with the most promising partner, that is India. So we would like to hear from him that how Taiwan is looking at India, and in that context, how Taiwan is looking at Odisha and what are the road ahead. So may I request His Excellency Mr. Baushaun to make his presentation.
Sorry to interrupt, Your Excellency, just forgive me for 5 seconds. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Sana Hasmi, who is a Taiwanese expert and who is today with us in this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, Honorable Suji Kumar, Member of Parliament, Professor Dash, today's moderator, other distinguished speakers, including my colleague from Kolkata, Mr. Stephen Liu, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning, namaste, namaste.
Good morning, good morning.
It's a great for me to be here. First of all, I want to say thank you to Honorable Suji Kumar for your participation the other day on this founding ceremony of this Formosa Club. This is a great encouragement to us, and we hope that in the near future we have other MPs from India and from other countries to join in, because this is very important for Taiwan to be seen by the world, especially in this pandemic era. We know that Taiwan has done well. Of course, right now we are under certain surge in Taipei as well, but we will do our best to contain it. I'm sure that we will do it. And so I must be frank, I have never been to Odisha yet. So I will start my presentation on a broader perspective, Taiwan, India. And after that, maybe we can see what we can actually do specifically for Odisha and Taiwan. We know that both our two countries set up our representations in each other's capital in 1995, as Honorable just mentioned, the ITA and the TCC. And since then, actually, the two-way trade, investment, everything moved between our two sides, moved very fast. So as you just rightly mentioned, we signed several agreements in the area of agriculture, education, SME, bilateral investment agreement that have laid very sound foundation for our two sides to build up stronger cooperation. And we are actually, before the COVID, we are working on some other agreements already. So I believe that after this COVID era, we can move very fast, and we hope that we can sign more agreements to build up this in this legally the framework for our two sides. So that means that we have more areas to be explored in the near future. Since 2016, we have this new southbound policy. Actually, before that, in 1990, in early 1990s and in early 2000, we have two southbound policies. So we say this is a new southbound policy. What's the difference between two three phases? In the last two southbound policies, actually, we focus on and other countries. And then another difference is that at that time, we only focus on Southeast Asia. So South Asia, like India, is policy since 2016. We have two things fundamentally different. That is, first, we target 18 countries. India actually is one of them, and India is the priority. To be honest, India is the priority. And another thing, yes, we in the past, but we found it's not enough. We should do it in a broader sense. So now in this time, we focus very much on people-to-people exchanges. And we think this is fundamental. If we have a very sound people-to-people exchanges between our two sides, between Taiwan and the target countries, then we can have more cooperation, more trade investment, more other engagements between bilaterally. So this time, people-to-people exchanges are very important. Now we fall into two very important categories. So that's what we are going to do. Actually, we have done quite a lot, but I think for India alone, it's not enough. For example, for the last few years, for like Vietnam and and Indonesia, we say 5-6 years ago, we got only 100, 200, 300 students from each of those countries in Taiwan. But since 2016, we have attracted more than 10,000 students from each of those countries. So now, for Vietnam alone, we have more than 10,000 students, Vietnamese students in Taiwan, and also from Indonesia. But for India, so far we have close to 3,000 students. Very good. Actually, compared with the year before, it's very good. We have 3,000. But India is a huge country. You have 1.4, 1.3, 1.4 billion people. So 3,000 is just like a drop of water in a big ocean. So that's not enough. So it's our aim. We have a very aggressive plan to attract 10,000, 30,000 of strategic importance to me. To me, this is of strategic importance to India to have more students study in Taiwan. You know why? Mandarin is very important. So now strategically important Mandarin, and we are the one of the very few places in the world that you can learn Mandarin. Where? Another thing is that it's very vital for other countries to attract small medium enterprises to those countries. Now yes, mainland China is one. Even in Vietnam, in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Malaysia, we have so many. Let me tell you one figure. In Thailand alone, we have 160,000 business operating in Thailand. We have 30-40 billion investment from Taiwan to Vietnam, to Thailand, to Malaysia. Why is that? Because in those countries, they have this Mandarin-speaking community. So it's easy for us. Taiwan is a very special place. We are very international in one sense. We do business with all the countries in the world. But in another sense, we are very international because of these small, medium enterprises' nature. English is not our mother tongue. So we have to learn it from middle school. So if in those countries, they have this Mandarin-speaking community, it's easy for our people to go to do business, to settle down. So, but in India, you don't have this community. So you have to create one. So far, you have 3,000 students studying in Taiwan. But, now they are now in these high-tech industries, in high-tech disciplines. So in the end, most of them will stay in Taiwan because of our high-tech need talents, especially they need talents from India. So in the end, very few of them will come back to India. So that's why we say we need to attract more students. I think for Odisha as well, you have to encourage your young, talented students to go to Taiwan to study in all kinds of disciplines. So in the end, after 4 years, after I say 4 years in first degree or 2 years or 3 years in second degree, they can come back to India, and they can become this bridge between Taiwan and India. Because for small medium enterprises, they need help. They need the local help to set up the business, and so this is very important to me. So far, we have 19 Taiwan education centers in India, in those universities, but not yet in Odisha. So, Honorable, if you think it's right, we can start this kind of, maybe Professor, you think it's right, we can start this kind of work to establish 1 or 2 Taiwan education center in Odisha, because through these centers, the students can learn Mandarin first, and then they can gather the information. They can study in Taiwan. So in the future, we can have more students from Odisha to study in Taiwan. So that's one of the areas we should explore, a very important area. Another thing, I think Honorable just mentioned, right? The very limited engagement between the people between our two sides. You know, before COVID, we have about only 30,000 people visiting, tourists visiting India every year. And from India, only 20,000 something. So I don't know why. I don't know why it happens that way. So before COVID, we have only two flights a week, direct flights between Taipei and Delhi. But I give you one figure. From Taiwan to Vietnam, before COVID, it was 170 flights a week. Between Taiwan and Japan, that was 100 flights a day, not a week, a day. But for Taiwan and India, we have 2 flights a week only. So that means we have to have more engagements between our two sides, especially people. Why that is important? Because I just mentioned small medium enterprises. 98% of the business in Taiwan, small medium enterprises, and they are the backbone of Taiwan's economy, the Taiwan's business. And for those small medium enterprises, first thing for them to do is to visit the place. If they like the place, then they do trade. If they build up confidence, they build up trust, they build up friendship with the local people, then they do investment. So if you ask some of the small medium enterprises in Taiwan, say, hey guy, you take 3 million US dollars, 4 million US dollars, and go to India to do the investment. If you ask me to do, I'll ask them. They say, why? I don't know this place. I don't know the people. Why should I do that? So if we can have this very intimate engagement between our two sides through tourism, in the future, we can have more investment, more trade between our two sides. So this is something I want to do. And I think we should do it aggressively after COVID. Actually, before that, I have already think of some plan. Maybe in the near future, we can discuss it with Honorable you and other people here to see if this is solid, if we can do it here. And I hope that through these kind of event, joint ventures, then we can have more. As I just said, trade is very important. We have to build up this trade relationship because, and in a appropriate time, then we can convince the government we should sign economic cooperation agreement between our two sides, because this, in the end, will be very, very important for our bilateral trade investment. So I will I'll stop here, and later if people have questions, then I can answer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador, His Excellency Baushaun, for setting that tone again and telling that there are immense possibilities, and we can actually take it from people-to-people contact to education to centers of study, and then focusing on economic and investment opportunities. We can do a lot of that. So may I have the opportunity to invite Government of Odisha's Industrial Promotion and Investment Corporation of Odisha Limited, which is a government body, and Dr. Nitin Jawale, an IS officer who is in charge of IPICOL, the MD, one of the most inspiring, committed and dedicated civil servants serving the state of Odisha. Dr. Jawale has been an epitome of resilience and strength. He's a senior IS officer of Odisha of 2003 batch, having served on various positions, including Director Tourism, Collector and DM of Raigad and Malkangiri, etc. So he continued to inspire people to join civil services, and one of those star performers of the government who actually means business. So that is why he is in business. So let's listen from Dr. Jawale and understand what are the possibilities in future. Over to Dr. Jawale.
Thank you, Professor Das, for your kind words, and good morning to all of you. Good morning to Sujit Bhai for giving us this opportunity to attend this meeting. And I would begin with my personal appreciation for the country of Taiwan. In fact, right from childhood, whenever we used to have any electronic gadgets, most invariably we would find made in Taiwan written on it. So that is the first real tiger economy of Asia and a very inspiring growth story. And also, I mean, it might be off the context, but let me also tell you that I'm a big fan of Taiwanese movies also. I've seen a number of them. So now coming to business, like, let me just explain you Odisha. Odisha is like, in the eastern seaboard of India, a state which has come up very well in the recent times. Yet we need to really take more efforts to make the world know about what Odisha is and what Odisha can offer to the world and the country of India. So just one small, example of Odisha's industrial prowess I would like to give in these COVID times. Now that we are suffering in the second wave of COVID, and there are some very crisis situation all over the country in India, Odisha has been supplying about 20 to 25% of oxygen to the entire country, besides serving its own state. We are also having a very high caseload, yet we are in a position to supply oxygen, about 20 to 25% oxygen to the rest of the country. So this is what Odisha is. I mean, this will give you an idea about the industrial progress Odisha has made in. So we have a small presentation because that really helps in understanding what I'm speaking. So kindly allow us to share a presentation. Before we start, let me, before the presentation is shared, I'll just give a brief idea. Like Odisha is the biggest producer of steel, stainless steel and aluminum in the country. That is the reason why we have so much of oxygen plants and we are able to supply. Now this growth story has been very phenomenal. We were able to do that within a period of 20 years. Before 20 years, we did have a few steel plants, but then now we are the steel hub of not just India, but Asia. We produce 50% of India's aluminum, 25% of India's steel, and more than 50% of India's stainless steel. So we are a metal hub, and now our plan is to develop into a downstream economy in these matters. We have a very rich and diverse mineral base, and that is the reason why this metal industry has developed. We also have 11% of India's water resources and a very sincere and a dedicated industrial workforce. So a combination of this and right policies by the present government. I mean, I hope that you are aware of the stability of the government here. Our chief minister is the longest serving chief minister in the country now. He is into his 21st year. So that is the stability this state has seen, and that is the reason of this state's development. So with right policies and right vision, we are able to go thus far. And now our situation 20 years back was not very good. Now we are not known as a backward state anymore. We are a state which is like, making rapid strides in industrialization. So now when it comes to, I mean, we are for some reason not able to share our presentation, but that's not a problem, but still it will be great if you are given this sharing privilege so that you can see us.
Sunil, please give the privilege to Dr. Jawale. Make him a co-host, please.
Just go to the third slide, state. Now see, this is why the presentation was important. So you can just make up from this slide the proximity of Taiwan to Odisha. It's within like 4 hours of flying distance. We are an international airport. We have an international airport in Bhubaneswar now that is connecting Southeast Asian countries. So Taiwan is not very far off. In fact, I will come in my presentation subsequent slide about the specific investment of Taiwan in Odisha. Other than the metal sectors I was talking about, we have made rapid stride in the petrochemical sectors. The biggest refinery of Indian Oil Corporation was set up in Paradip, and that is what is giving impetus to a lot of downstream development. Already CPC Taiwan has been in close touch with government of Odisha as well as IOCL. They already have some working arrangement of Indian Oil Corporation, but we had received an investment intent from CPC Taiwan in 2016 for establishment of a downstream refinery in Paradip region or any of the nearby regions in Odisha. For some reasons, the investment has not materialized till date. But that is something, the investment still live and we are chasing it very aggressively. And hopefully things would come up in the years to come. So now these are the accolades that we have earned recently. We were #1 state in 2000, a couple of years back. Before the first wave of COVID, we were adjudged as the first #1 state in terms of attracting investment in India. We received 18% of India's investment. So that's like more than 1/6 of India's investment was in Odisha alone. We are an industrial economy. Industries and service sector combinedly forms 80% of our economy. So we are like, an industrial economy. Then our growth rate has been very, very phenomenal. In fact, we have consistently grown above national average and continue to grow. Even in these COVID times, our growth was very good. Our economy didn't shrink, unlike many other states. And at one point of time, we could grow 15.6. That was in 2016. That is the growth Odisha is seeing, and therefore it is one of the most promising state as far as investment opportunities are concerned. Next slide, please. So we have coupled our strengths with the our efforts at building infrastructure of various kinds, like be it roads, railways, our ports. In fact, we have 3 deep sea ports operational as of now, and the 4th one, Suvarnareka, is like under construction, which will be operational within like, I think, another 3 years. So this has also led to a lot of port-based industrialization, and this is something that is of interest to Taiwan also. Paradip port, our largest port, is in fact the largest port in the eastern seaboard, and second in terms of capacity handle in the entire country. So that is a major port. That is where the Indian Oil Corporation refinery is located, and that is a place where CPC Taiwan had shown a lot of interest. And we have been like putting all kinds of infrastructure in the form of a gas pipeline and other grids also, like electrical grids and all, to like, augment whatever strengths that we have. And that is the reason why, as I said, we became the largest producer of not just minerals, but also metals, primary metals in industries like aluminum, steel, and stainless steel. Next slide, please. And this is one of our biggest strengths. Like a state cannot just develop just because it has some natural resources. If that would have been the case, African countries would have been the most developed in the world. So to make the best use of our resources, with all due respect to the African countries, of course, to make the best use of resources, a state has to have an industrial workforce, which is skilled, which is the right kind of skill is imparted to the people so that they can participate in the industrial growth story. Or else it's like somewhere it gets skewed and all. So we came up with a campaign of Skilled in Odisha. And the Skilled in Odisha campaign is one in which we had, in a campaign mode, we had taken this mission to upgrade the skills of our rural youth all over the state. And the result of that is that we have a huge skilled industrial base, not just in Odisha itself, but also the entire country. In fact, the most dedicated and sincere workforce. Anywhere you go, in any sector, you'll find there are ODRs, be it like textile sector or the electronics and ESDM sector or any other sector, including like, IT and all. Top IT professionals in Bangalore and all are from Odisha. In fact, one of the largest contingent of ODR people outside Odisha is in Bangalore. So this is the skill sets that we have. We on our part, like, IPICOL is the industrial promotion wing of Government of Odisha. What we have done is like we put in a single window system. It's called GoSwift, Government of Odisha Single Window Investment Facilitation and Tracking. This is an award-winning single window. We got a National E-Governance Award for that. And also we have, IPICOL has been rated as the best or the top performer investment promotion agency in the entire country. And, the combination of all things, it's not just a matter of skilled workforce or resources or policies. We at our part, we in IPICOL have done our job by doing the best facilitation. And that is why we got very good investments last year and continue to get. So we are a power surplus state. I already told we are water surplus state. We are also a power surplus state that is rarity in India. Even the most developed states, so-called developed states, are actually not power surplus and they struggle on that front. We are a power surplus state. We sell electricity to many other states besides meeting our own demand. We have a very competitive price when it comes to industrial land also, and the allotment is also very, very swift and transparent. And the biggest part is, and most lucrative part is, our skilled wage rate is very competitive because of a very competitive cost of living here. It's not very high. With a limited amount of money, one can have a very good lifestyle in Odisha. And as a result of this, all these factors, we are placed as one of the most lucrative destinations for investment. And now we are in a position that we have so much of interest in our state that we are actually struggling and striving very hard to get as much land as possible for industrial purposes. Next. I'll come to very specific sectors for investment of Taiwanese companies. And one of the biggest, as I said right at the start, that Taiwan, at that time, electronics and ESDM was a sunrise sectors in 60s and 70s. And this is where Taiwan picked up and became a world leader. In fact, like I heard just very recently that whichever equipment you take, like of an IT equipment, there is no equipment which doesn't have one or the other part from Taiwan. So that is the strength of Taiwan. And therefore, our specific offering would be our Info Valley Electronics Manufacturing Cluster, which is just 10 kilometers from the state capital and the international airport. It's a 600 acres earmarked patch of land that has been especially earmarked for electronics and ESDM sector. Though I must admit that we haven't done well in this because our strengths lie somewhere else like metal and mineral. This is also a sector which we have identified as a priority sector, but we are yet to do something good in this. Though we have the likes of Infosys, TS and all the TCS and Wipro and all other IT data companies, but then manufacturing in all something that is yet to come, and we expect that this would be of interest to Taiwanese companies. Next slide, please. Now, this is a major offering. In fact, as I've said, CPC Taiwan is already into watching this development and participating in a big way, and we are expecting some more participation, some more comprehensive participation from CPC Taiwan. This Indian Oil Corporation refinery in Paradip region has given impetus to a lot of downstream development. And this has been designated as one of the 4 PCPR, that is the plastics, chemicals, and petrochemicals investment regions in that world is called PCPR. It is one of the 4 PCPR in the country and the only one which holds promise. The only other functional or semi-functional PCPR would be Dahej in Gujarat, but no PCPR in the country matches the levels of comfort and the levels of expertise that we have in terms of port and a port base, just a refinery just adjacent to the port and a huge investment area adjacent to the refinery. As a result of that, we are getting a lot of investments here also. And we have just 3 months back concluded an MOU with Indian Oil Corporation Limited, and which kind of streamlines the downstream development. It assures raw materials of different nature like PX, PTA, polypropylene, MEG, and others that are there is a way of a quantity that is earmarked and a systematic way of allotting it to the downstream industries in the vicinity. So that has resulted in a lot of interest, and a lot of petrochemicals and plastic companies are coming to setting up the base. So this is something of great interest because Taiwan has great expertise in this. And maybe, whenever you have companies around you are in discussion with, this is something that we expect that we will be really grateful if you are able to spread the word around regarding this sector. Next. Now, again, Taiwan has, we know that some kind of capacities in seafood manufacturing also, processing and manufacturing. Now, we are one of the few states in the country which has some good abilities in this matter also. We have a long coastline, about 480 kilometers, and then we have a dedicated seafood park just about 10-15 kilometers from the state capital again. And the likes of big seafood processing companies in the country like Falcon Marine, and then Coastal Corporation, Magnum, and others, they have already set up the bases here, and more are yet to come. And that is the reason why we are now doubling the land that we have in Seafood Park and trying to get more and more seafood processing units there. In fact, we have got one of the first FDI in the state was in this sector, B1 from Thailand, which has already put up its base there. Next slide, please. And the most important here, and this is what is the biggest offering, and this is our biggest strength, in fact, is this Kalinga Nagar industrial cluster, basically for steel, stainless steel, and downstream industries. Now, this is the place you can say as a Ruhr Valley of India, or probably the Asia also. What Ruhr Valley was to Germany and Europe, Kalinga Nagar is to India and Asia. We have the biggest steel makers here, Tata Steel, Jindals, and many others, medium range steel makers are there situated here. And we are coming up with a plan called Vision 2030, which envisages 50% value, up to 50% value addition to to the metal that is produced in the state, steel, stainless steel, and aluminum. Now that presents huge opportunities for investment. And in fact, if you are able to reach somewhere near there, undoubtedly Odisha would be the most industrially developed and most progressive and the richest state in the country. So this is what an ambitious plan that we have, and we are trying to get as many investments as possible in this area. So please mark this area is called Kalinga Nagar Industrial Cluster, where the likes of Tata Steel, JSL, Visa, Mesco, and all are there. We have a robust infrastructure there. It's a dedicated huge area, which is earmarked for industrialization, our industrial capital, in fact. And there are a lot of scopes for not just downstream, but also ancillary industries in which Taiwan has some specific interest and expertise. Next slide, please. We have just all the states in the country. In India, India is developing, many states are developing, and therefore there is a competitive environment in the country. Every state is trying to outbeat the other in terms of its offering in subsidies and incentives. We have taken a very conscious stand in this matter, that we don't go for policy shopping. It's not like getting customers just by giving some kind of a promise which we'll not able to keep. So that's why our offering is very standard, and we have always honored our commitment, unlike many other places where the state simply didn't have the money to honor the commitment. So our subsidies and investment, as you can see here, apart from interest subsidies and the regular subsidies relating to stamp duty or electricity duty or so on, we have a huge capital subsidy. We can give up to 10% of the total investment size, and it can go even higher. Like if somebody is coming up with private industrial parks, it go to as high as 50%. And we have kept our word, and we have given whatever promised incentives and subsidies to different industrial units in the state. And again, I'm repeating the point, industrialization investment is not just about how much subsidy and investment we offer. Our strength is in our stability, the infrastructure that we have created, and the facilitation that we do, the hand-holding we do for industrialization. These are our strengths. We always see to it that our subsidies and investment are best in the country. If some state is offering X, we try to get X+1, but that is not something that we rely on wholly. We rely on our strength as an robust industrial state and our investment-friendly climate. And that is the reason why we have been getting so much of investments in the state. Next slide, please. So these are the, other than mother policy or the industrial policy resolution, different sectors have come up with sector-specific policies. And again, these sector policies are customized to that particular sector and the investment in this sector. So this is something that's of great use or great benefit to any kind of investment in any sector, wherever Taiwan or Taiwanese company would like to come in. Next slide, please. So these are the testimonials from the big and famous in the country. So people of the stature of Mukesh Ambani or Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla and Anil Agrawal of Vedanta Research, they have all sung laurels for the state, and particularly the governance in the state led by our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik. And this is what what is the standing of Odisha. So we welcome all the companies from Taiwan. If they have any specific interest in any sector, we will be most glad to facilitate. And we hope that some kind of investment comes from Taiwan shortly, and so that we have a long-term relationship and partnership with Taiwan, and together we can grow to the next level. Thank you very much. I hope I have not taken much time.
No, sir, thank you. This is also very illustrative for all of us in Odisha, studying public policy, international relations. Very thoughtfully presented, very attractively presented, sir. And I think Ambassador Baushaun was taking keen interest in that and reading it thoroughly. So, hopefully we can also MP office can play a role in facilitating that discussion as well. So thank you, Dr. Jawale, for that powerful presentation on arguing why Odisha has emerged and become the #1 destination, top destination for foreign investors. So may I have the opportunity to go to Stephen Liu, Director, Taipei World Trade Center, Liaison Office in Kolkata, who has been the manager of TAITRA, Mumbai office from 2014-18. His main task has been to assist and promote trade between Taiwan and Odisha. I would like to listen from him. On an average, 250 businessmen are invited to Taiwan for business negotiation a year, and he has been someone who has been negotiating that and facilitating that. So worked in China section of Market Development Department, taking charge after between Taiwan and China, and developing B2B, also cooperating with Google, PayPal, Trade in India. So kind of a multifaceted business leader who facilitates discussion and business at the national level as well as it. And also, we would also like to know what has been there between Odisha and Taiwan, and what are the roadmaps that he has in his mind. Over to Mr. Stephen Liu.
Thank you, Professor Kamala. Okay, thank you for your detailed introduction. So I will do my presentation Thai Kiri. Our organization is focused on trade promote. In Taiwan, our name is called Taisha. Then in India, we call TWTC. Then we are a 50 years old organization. In the global, we have 63 offices in the world. This is my profile, but Dr. Kamala already introduced me. So I'm working in Kolkata 2 years. So our office covers 13 states, including Odisha in East India. We are under our ambassador, Mr. Ger, leading. So we do the business part. In our organization, we focus on inbound and outbound. Like in 2019, we had 2 delegations come to Kolkata. And 1 year, I sent 50 buyers. We provide the hotel accommodation, and some big buyer like Tata Steel, we provide them the tickets subsidy, affording them to Taiwan. Because I'm lucky, before lockdown, I have a chance business trip to Odisha. So I meeting with some chamber leader and one very famous electronic manufacturer, Gautam Power. I see there a well-organized production line. This is a very good experience when I'm in Odisha, because I not only in Bhubaneswar, I also trip to Puri. Also, coming back to today's topic, because the organizer gave me 2 topics is Taiwan and Odisha opportunities, and I have some experience, some Taiwanese project in Odisha. Of course, it's except CPC. Then 3 is White Taiwan and our Taisha service. I think as Dr. Nitin mentioned, the seafood industry is very famous in Odisha. Like in my office, I got a lot of inquiry about the silver pomfret. Because in Chinese culture, in the new year, we like eating fish. It means you have a more prosperous year. So I think seafood has a huge potential. Like 2019, in Taiwan, we organized a fishery show. We invite 2 buyers fly from Odisha to Taiwan. Because my colleague still in this meeting room, he has the detail. Then recently, the one Indian company, S&T engineer, also cooperate with some Taiwan company. They set up machinery centers. In my coming presentation, I will introduce how strong is Taiwan machinery industry. Then I provide more information. Till now, around 113 Taiwanese has investment in whole India, and 1.1 billion USD investment in the whole India. The industry, including the information technology, medical device, automobile components, machinery, steel, electronic, ethics. And this is another case. Our Taiwanese, they do the project in Damara Port. It's a 3 years project. This Taiwan company called CTCI is Taiwan largest engineer procurement consumer company. They cooperate with their Indian Indian partner to get Adani Group. This port is under Adani Group's development project. This is also one case in Odisha. Why Taiwan? Like last year, the COVID situation is no good, but our Taiwan, our GDP growth rate is 2.98, near 3%. It's pretty good in the world. And at the same time, we are the 21st largest economic in the world because we are very small island, but our economic is very strong. That's why I am here to introduce the presentation to you. And we are a trade-oriented country. We are leading trader. We are in the global, we are number 15 exporter in the world. This number for your reference. Then I introduce our Taiwan strong industries. First is now we are promote the turnkey planet. We has a full mass production line to the world, and our Taitra we has one global anti-COVID-19 pavilion. You can find a lot of suppliers in here. This is first. Second is IoT. As Dr. Nitin mentioned, Odisha is strong in IT products. According to my experience visiting Nayyar, then here some products has huge potential. Maybe like optical lens module is used in iPhone, PCB, and the passive component and the energy component. It can use in solar panel. This also can for your reference. Then smart solution. Like my office got some inquiry. In India, some states they need like parking, smart parking system. If you go to parking, then you can use your cell phone to pay. Like this kind of smart solution, we can use in manufacture, energy, smart city, buildings, retail, healthcare, and smart agriculture also. And the machinery, Taiwan machinery with high quality in the world, and our price compared to Germany and Japan is quite competitive. The number one I want to introduce to you is woodworking machinery. Second is machinery tool. Third is plastic and rubber, and the textile and the shoes making machine. 80% of this machinery are exported. Our annual output is near 40 billion to the world. 5 is auto part, because now the e-vehicle is very famous. Like in India, we can see the Tata next gen on the road, very frequent. But why e-vehicle is important? Because now India need the charger. Because now I see the news. Now it's not sufficient charger in the whole India. So maybe this can manufacture in India, because Taiwan is famous in EV component, and we have some famous brand. They already cooperate with some India company, not in Odisha, but maybe it's in Gujarat, it's in New Delhi, it's in Ludhiana, like Hero Group. As I know, Chongyi has some project in Gujarat. So I think this is a potential industry in the future. And our Taitra, we also organize an event. It's called 2035 e-mobility on October. If you have interesting, welcome, contact me. I will invite you to see the virtual show, virtual event. Number 6, bicycle. Because when I travel to Odisha, because your court in the sea, near the sea, is very beautiful. It's called Marine Drive from Kanak to Puri. If we can riding a bicycle in there, it's very good. Because Taiwan has two famous brands. It's called Gent, Merida. These two brands. It's like Hero or Firefox in Taiwan, like this kind. And we have some accessory like a pedal manufacturer. Now I'm talking is manufacturer, and this chain KNC is very famous in the world. So this has some, what I mentioned in this page, they are all famous brand, OBN in Taiwan, for you information. Okay, above is I mentioned why Taiwan. Then I want to use 2 pages to introduce our service to you. What we can do now, because now what we do is online meeting. Like this year, like 2020, my office organized over 60 plus online meeting for Indian company. It's from Bihar, Odisha, almost in Kolkata. The meeting with Taiwan, then they get some quotation. So 1 year, our whole Taiwan, we organized 3,642 buyer. We arranged a meeting, over 10,000 meeting for this over 3,000 buyer. And the 60 plus is from our Kolkata office. And second is we have online service. It's called Taiwan Trade. Taiwan Trade. This is Taiwan biggest B2B platform. If you need any supply, you can search there. Then send them the inquiry or something. Then you also can asking us. My office also can do the online meeting for you. Or you just apply it first in advance. Okay. So this is my short presentation, which you understood what I am introduced to you. And today I also have 2 colleagues in this meeting room. One is Debalina, one is Akadeb. Akadeb is graduate from Odisha KIT University. He helped me a lot. So if you have any question about my presentation or our service, welcome. Send me the email. We will reply you as soon as possible. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Steve. That was comprehensive, and we also got an idea that what is happening at the Eastern Indian level and with Odisha as well. And thank you for taking initiative to facilitate discussion between and collaboration between Taiwanese and Indian companies. And as Ambassador Baushaun talked about, that MSMEs have a strong role to play there. And under the able guidance of Chief Minister, our self-help groups and MSMEs are doing very well in Odisha. So maybe in the post-COVID times, there will be more to explore and contribute as well. And for everyone's information, Sujit Kumar comes from Western and Southern Odisha's connection there, and with the tribal communities, very in the sense resilient and fantastic handicrafts are available, which are of international standard. Maybe Taiwanese companies will be interested in that. We can explore and possibly go to that direction one by one. So for one information for everyone here, we are getting several fine comments on our Facebook Live, where participants who are watching on Facebook are appreciating, saying that there are several areas where Taiwan and Odisha can take their relationship forward. Thank you, Stephen, for that interaction. I'm very sure people who are watching this and the Facebook Live as well will be flooding your email inbox soon for facilitating discussion as well, in collaboration with the MP Sir's office, with the World Trade Center, with FICCI here, and the CII's young officer. So all our collaborators are very keen to engage discussion with you. So over to, while thanking Steve for his beautiful presentation, may I request Sri Gautam Sir, Gautam Ghosh, a very well-known serial entrepreneur and CEO, Locus 42 Consulting. So Gautam ji is a multi-sectoral business management expert with more than 3 decades of experience with heading and leading profitable growth of various Fortune 500 organizations, both in India and internationally. A commerce graduate and MBA, Gautam has spent initial decades of his career with Godrej on Voice Manufacturing Company and Eastman Kodak Limited, later moved on to become CEO of the Fortune 500 company in South Asia. And their MEA subsidiaries is Zebra Technologies Corp United States, ViewSonic Corp USA, Philips Electronics MMD Netherlands. He has not only been instrumental in establishing legal entities and the footprint of this part of the world, but also scaling business interests in top 3 positions amongst his peers. So I can go on because in 3.5 decades of experience, Mr. Ghosh has achieved several laurels and achievements. In a brief, we would like to say and thank you for connecting us to Taiwanese investors and Taiwanese delegates as well. And we would like to learn from you what you think are the ways forward. Over to Gautam Ghosh.
Thank you, Professor Das. Namaste, good morning, ni hao to all of you. And thanks, Sujit, for inviting me, my brother and Rajya Sabha member. And also thanks to Sujit for initiating the Taiwan-India Formasa Club WTO activity, for which you got some nice letters from people around the world. So I would like to talk more in terms of strength, weaknesses, and opportunities. We don't have any threats. And primarily because I have spent about 7 long years in Taiwan. I was the CEO and Managing Director for ViewSonic Corporation for India and South Asia. I lived in Taipei. I have many friends in Taipei and Taiwan. And so as a outsider insider, so I always say I'm brought up in Odisha, but my second home is Taipei. In fact, every day I happen to speak to somebody or other in Taiwan. I used to interact very closely with His Excellency's predecessors. I am a very good friend of G.J. Lee. Now he has gone back to Taipei. Romeo was a friend of mine. Jeff Hong, who was the Secretary of Commerce, is a good friend of mine. So these are all ex-colleagues. Now, Taiwan apparently is a 24 million population country, which is exactly the half of Odisha. Odisha is probably 46 million people. Your GDP is around 760 billion. PPP is 1.4 billion. And you are leaders in semiconductors, food processing, and various other products. And I see there's a huge opportunity between Taiwan and Odisha to collaborate in various areas. I mean, most of it is already covered by Managing Director of IPICOL, some by our MP Sujit Kumar, but there are some areas which we probably have left out. Now, being an insider of Taiwan, I'd like to bring up certain realities which probably comes in the way of what Taiwan can do and what Taiwan has done, or even in terms of what Odisha or India could do and have done. Some could be real hard realities. And so in terms of what Ambassador said, that people-to-people contact is very, very important. But the issue remains is that whenever Taiwan came to India to talk about education, you invariably landed up in IITs and IIScs. The fact is that IITs and IIScs caters to a very, very small population of Indian student community. It is mostly, it is the private universities and engineering colleges who are, and Odisha apparently is one of the hubs of higher education. I happen to be in the board of one of the universities there. So Taiwan should come up and talk more to the people outside of IITs and IIScs because there where the people really come out and contribute to the economy. Two is the of course what you talked about is the tourism. Oh, I've spent many hours in Yami Mountains and Sun Moon Lake in Taiwan, in Taipei, and they are paradise for hikers. And in fact, India has no clue what Taiwan has to offer in terms of tourism, especially the hiking community. Yami Mountain has one of the beautiful hot spring. It's a dormant volcanic mountain. In fact, Sun Moon Lake has hotels which are where you can go and have sulfur bath in this thing, but it is not sold so well. So I have been trying to be an ambassador of Taiwan as and when possible in India. Now, another area which Taiwan should look at, with all due respect, is we need to come out of the hangover of mainland China. Because mainland China is a typical trading country, okay? Now, when they have started investing, they're investing more in debts than in equity. And they have reasons to invest in debt so that when you default, they have ways and means to take over, like it's happening in Sri Lanka and Maldives and other places. So Taiwan should come out of being a trading nation, because like Stephen said, that we are a trading nation. Taiwan should look at a country looking for investments, which is a long-term engagement with a country, exactly like what Korea has done, what Japan has done. Of course, initially they were also traders, but then they became big-time investors, employment generators, and so on and so forth. Today, Odisha's coastal landmass is almost equivalent to that of Vietnam. And Vietnam exports more than $10 billion of seafood every year. There is no way Odisha can do that. In fact, Odisha does not have limitation in terms of numbers of miles it can go out into the sea. Unlike Taiwan, the moment you trade a little that side, you will land up in South China Sea, and then there's a conflict. So explore those things. You have the capabilities, you have the abilities for deep sea, for fishing, for logistics in seafood manufacturing. And there are enough and good companies in Odisha. Falcon is one I know of. It was mentioned somewhere. They would, of course, look at collaboration, technology in the seafood processing. Look at those areas. Another is, well, I have tried personally, I've been to Taiwan very recently to talk about venture capital. Odisha houses around 350 startups. Today, India has 100 unicorns. Together, they're valued at $240 billion US. There's only 100 companies, the value. China is going all over the place trying to invest in companies like Paytms and Oyo Rooms and so on and so forth, though we don't want them. Here, it's an open field for Taiwan to look at that. If somewhere you're looking at, your investors are looking at making money, nothing like startups. Odisha, as somebody rightly said, majority of the Orias are working in Bangalore in various startups. They are technocrats. If Taiwan can come with your startups, form joint ventures, these people will automatically come back to their hometown. They are not very happy there. They would like to come stay at home and spend time. So look at that area also. Another, as I said, to come out of the hangover of mainland China is, like, you have China Airways, you have China Steel. I think you are a country of formasas where you are very different. You guys are ethnic Mandarin people. You are much more, I would say, pure in terms of your heritage. I think that needs to be sold too much, much more strongly, because mainland is a little contaminated with whole lot of other things which you all better know. So I see there's opportunities unlimited. Only thing that we need to do is to build trust, which would come from people to people contacts. Education, tourism is two of them. Trust in the sense, I have seen delegations from Tetra, from Tate, coming and sitting in FICCI and CII office, looking for buyers.
Yes.
I haven't seen teams coming looking for investments, or looking to invest, or looking for investments in Taiwan. Very rarely I have seen teams coming to FICCIs and CIIs pitching Taiwan as an investment destination to the industrial diaspora, Indian industrial diaspora. So instead of focusing more on trading is happening, trading will happen. You are the largest manufacturers. In fact, the managing director of MediaTek is a very dear friend of mine. MediaTek is the probably second largest chip manufacturing company in the world. Every second phone has their chip. And so Bhubaneswar is another place, Odisha is another place to look at putting up wafers factories, semiconductors, chips. And today, Indian government has come out with the PLI scheme, the production linked incentive, wherein you get 5 to 6% incentive. I'm sure once you decide, Odisha government can also, with the help of Sujit Kumar, can look at some more further incentive to top it up, beyond 4 to 6%, which Government of India Center is giving. So to sum it up, I would say we have to break away from the hangovers, relook at India. India is one of the largest. Don't just look at India with 1.4 billion mouths and 2.8 billion hands, and don't look at it that way. Look at more in terms of how you can engage, the way exactly the Koreans are doing, the amount of investment they have done, the investment Japan has done in India, and they are getting huge benefits out of it. So trust is automatically gotten built in the process, and both the countries are in a win-win scenario. So with this, I like to sign off because I've been given 10 minutes, but I see there's a lot of other speakers down the line, and I don't want to eat away their time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gautam ji, for that experience sharing. That we have many possibilities. We have the potentials, and we can tap those as well. So these kind of platforms are very good, and it augurs well for Taiwanese business leaders and Odisha's business leaders as well. And hopefully, and certainly, once the COVID goes away from our business life, and it all becomes normal, we all will be playing a small contributive role there. And we'll request Sujit Kumar sir's office and also Office of Government of Odisha to facilitate that and bring more people to people contact into focus. Thank you, Gautam ji. We'll definitely be going back and forth to you again and again for our insights and experience aspect. Thank you for that. May I have the privilege and opportunity to invite Ms. Monica Nayyar Patnaik, Chairperson, FICCI Odisha State Council, Managing Director of Sambad Group. Madam Nayak is a management professional with a rich experience of 2.5 decades. She is the Managing Director of Sambad Group, the largest Odisha's #1 media house. Its flagship brand in print is Sambad, and Odisha's most widely read and largest circulated #1 daily as well. Others are in that Sambad Group: Kanak News, Radio Chocolate, and the first to free at entertainment channel Manjari TV, and also Eastern Opera, Digital Sambadin. So it's a kind of a conglomerate where you can see all aspects of media covered. So also as the chairperson of FICCI, she promotes business and collaborations beyond Odisha and also beyond the territory of India. May I invite Madam Monica Nayyar Patnaik to make her presentation and intervention and show us the path where we can lead from where we can go from here. Thank you and welcome, Madam Patnaik.
Thank you very much. Namaste to all of you. It is a very, very nice morning because to get up early and I will thank our friend, Mr. Sujit Kumar, to invite us, and getting up at 10 o'clock and having a session till 11:30, which listening to everybody, it has been really, really informative. I'll be very brief. As part of the chairperson of Odisha State Council of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, we at Odisha were helping to develop the industry sector and as also forming a bridge between the industries here as well as the industries outside. Let me just break away from the whole opportunities which we have already talked about, whether it is Taiwan, as it was initially mentioned that when we were young and we were small, we were always interested with Taiwanese products. And they were forming a part of each and every of the electronic gadgets that we were using. Similarly, when we were in talking about all the investment opportunities, both in Taiwan as well as in Odisha, we've had a great presentation from both sides. And it does not show that not only either of the industries is open to invest and introduce, but also it means that it can be a great bonding and strengthening the ties between the two countries of India as well as Taiwan. Let me just put a little bit out of the perspective, since we all know that there is a lot of opportunities available in Odisha. Why Odisha? There was a brilliant article which I was reading, and for us to all know that when we talk about the COVID scenario right now, which is happening in India, there was an example set by the author that why don't we follow the Odisha way? And what is that Odisha way to tackle COVID? So imagine Odisha is being in the limelight for not only facilitating things which can streamline, but it is trying to tell the country that you follow the Odisha way. How? Odisha has been undergoing a lot of cyclones, and how the Odisha government could tackle the cyclones after learning from first cyclone, they did 4 things, and which was immediate, and that's what we are referring to follow in the country. Not only in the country as India, but it could set an example for other countries too. Like, for example, after taking the idea from the cyclones which were happening, first one, they did a great job of doing a robust healthcare system. Then when they say there is invested in giving the shelters, a cyclone shelter, so that becomes you put your mind and soul into the infrastructure so that you're ready for the next one. And third thing, it was an early warning signals, which, Odisha developed so that once the next cyclones come, they're very ready for that. So that third thing they did was community engagement, where everybody was involved in tackling the situation of cyclone. The fourth thing which they did, the government did, was to have an effective communication strategy. So my submission here is that the Odisha government's example in tackling any kind of situation, whether it is for cyclones or whether it is coming for industries, it is of paramount importance and it is setting an example in the whole country. So when we are talking about investments from the either of the governments, Odisha government as well as the Taiwan government, from the side of FICCI, the industry body, we have a lot of players in the industry, which we have already talked about, whether it could be seafood processing, whether it is tourism, whether it is iron and steel, whether it is electronics, as I also saw the electronic vehicles, which Taiwan is promoting, and the bicycles. We are also having our indigenous electric vehicles companies here in Sambalpur, in Bhubaneswar. So we can have a brilliant tie-up with amongst all of us. Secondly, when we're talking about the tourism industry, also when the Buddhist circuit is happening here in Odisha, that is one we can promote. As well as we are mentioning that there are beautiful tourist spots in Taiwan, and why can't the number of tourists increase or the number of flights to increase from India to Taiwan? That's also excellent idea. So I suggest that from the industry background, I will be able to set up meetings for both the areas, Odisha versus Taiwan, as Stephen was showing, and we can have some kind of a dialogue between all of us, because there's a win-win situation for both of us. And wherever the investments are required in terms of the industry here in Odisha, we will be able to build a dialogue between both the state, between both the country and the state here in Odisha. So I welcome the debate which is going on, and I thank Mr. Sujit, who has actually gone ahead and arranged this. And it will be definitely an opportunity for our industries to interact from Orissa, as well as get an opportunity to be there in Taiwan, as he said, that we can fly off for the next flight. And I'm ready to go first one and to have a look there. I'm itching to move out of India and Bhubaneswar, not gone anywhere. So I hope Taiwan welcomes me. Thank you very much. And we are ready for any kind of a dialogue. Thanks.
Thank you, Monica ma'am, for that willingness and welcoming approach to invite Taiwanese business leaders and as well as generally people-to-people contact as well. So we'll take that discussion forward. Maybe this is one of those first discussions in the series, hopefully to do more discussions like that. So can we have the questions if we have received any by now, or people who are already ready with questions, they have written it in the chat box, we can actually read those questions as well. So anyone who has any question by now, if you want to unmute, you can unmute and you can share your question, be very brief, and also identify whom you want the question, your question to respond to. You can introduce yourself and over to Q&A. The floor is yours. All participants. Share your question, be very brief, and also identify whom you want your question to respond to. You can introduce yourself and over to Q&A. The floor is yours.
Can you hear? Can I be heard?
Yes, Professor Mr. Gupta, yes.
Yeah, a couple of comments actually. Ambassador Baushaun Ger has talked about the language problem where Chinese entrepreneurs are far more comfortable in going into a Chinese language economy than where one English is spoken. I think this possibly was this is possibly a factor 20, 30 years ago. Today, I don't think that is all that important, because what is basically a convenience,
your voice is breaking.
What is being talked about a convenience sometimes becomes, a comfort zone. The most widely spoken language in the world is basically broken or bad English, and I don't think they should have any problems. What is most important is the following. I think while Nitin Jawale's presentation was very, very good, the most important thing that Odisha has to offer, in my opinion, is basically its skilling program. And if Chinese entrepreneurs, Taiwanese entrepreneurs were to come to Odisha and explore, I think they would be very, very pleasantly surprised. Number one. Number two, I think China the Taiwan as a trading nation is extremely important because, as the honorable member said, that they are very keyed into the global supply chain. I think that is a break that India wants. We also want to enter that global supply chain. And as Taiwan climbs up the ladder, up the economic ladder, much of the positions that they are vacating can be given to Odisha and other parts of India, and certainly Odisha. Last comment I would like to make is, you see, when it comes to building contacts between people to people, one of the things that the French have done, I know this because I was associated with the Research Institute of the French, is basically to promote research in India, Indo-French research, and I believe Academia Sinica can also do it. You can have a research center, say, in Delhi, but you can have research centers in places like Odisha, the off-metropolitan areas, and I think that would be one of the best ways, basically, to promote two-way information about China, about Taiwan and India. But the best thing would be a troop of Taiwanese businessmen, especially SMEs, coming to Odisha to see what Odisha has to offer. And I think they'll be very pleasantly surprised. Let me end out here.
Thank you, Professor Sengupta, for identifying few important issues there. And any of our panelists would like to either comment on that or respond or appreciate that what Professor Sengupta has said, that will be good. Any of our Taiwanese delegates, including His Excellency Baushaun and Steve?
Yes, Yeah, that's a very good question. I think the supply chain realignment is happening. And my minister the other day, I think sometime last year, said that the supply chain realignment between Taiwan and India will happen because we see India as our partner, and the supply chain realignment, especially in the high tech, for example, like semiconductor, can only happen between partners, good friends. So we will see what will happen after this COVID, because it seems that the COVID disrupted many things. So after the COVID, we will see more engagement. And we have seen, actually, for Taiwan, we have seen many companies are moving out of China. They are coming back to Taiwan or other countries in this region. Actually, our policy in Taiwan is that we don't ask all those companies, Taiwanese companies, to come back to Taiwan, because it will not be able for us to accommodate every one of them, because Taiwan is very small. So we encourage them to go somewhere else. India actually is one of this. So this is my task, and also the task of my colleagues here. So we are working on this, and we will we are talking to your government on this, and we hope that sometime this year we can see something very concrete on this. Another thing is that yes, we can see some research between our two sides. I don't know if it will happen in Odisha, but in between Taiwan and India, that's for sure, because this is something like a think tank partnership is an area of great importance for us, because now India is one of the Quad members, the 4 members of the Quad, and Taiwan's interest to be part of this process. And we hope that through India's help, we can be somewhere here. So I think this is very important, and the research, and in many ways we should engage. So that's something. And for the Chinese, I don't say that all the companies from Taiwan will have to. You have to, yes, most of them speak English, of course. English is an international language, but for small medium enterprises, they tend to go to the place the comfort zone. You mentioned right, comfort zone. So the language is one of the comfort zone. It's very important. So if you have this Mandarin speaking community, this body in India, that will facilitate this, because Mr. Ghosh points right. What we are working on is not only trade, because trading is happening all the time. What we are looking for is investment, because for the small medium enterprises, if you want to attract them to come to invest in India, you have to provide a very comfortable environment for them. So language is one of them. Of course, in the end, they speak English, but in the initial stage, they need help. And the Mandarin is very important. I still think this is otherwise you don't explain why most of the companies from Taiwan go to mainland China, go to Southeast Asia. So far we have only 2 billion investment from Taiwan. That's a very small fraction. We know each other. We know that India is very important for us, but the investment is not here, and we have about only 110 something. Companies are setting up business operation in India. People in India say, okay, we want the big names to come to India. To be frank, most of the big names in Taiwan are already in India. So like Foxconn, like Pegatron, like Delta, all those big names are already here. There are only 2 exceptions. One is financial. That's very important. I don't figure out. I still have to figure out what happened, because our financial institutions are not here. And that's very important for our small medium enterprises to come to India. So I have to figure out why there's an obstacle on that. Another sector is state-owned enterprises, but forget about them. They are hopeless. So for India, the focus should be small medium enterprises. So we should do all we can to make sure that small medium enterprises in Taiwan see India is an ideal destination for the investment. That's what I want to do.
Thank you, Ambassador Baushaun. Any other question that we have?
Good morning. Good morning. Can I step in? Good morning.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Good morning. My name is Radha Madhav Jaina. I'm the CEO and Managing Director of the company, Ajit Management. It's a global staffing company, number one. I'm also the Managing Director of an IT company, that is Brindar Technologies. Our head office that is in Bombay, but okay, then we are also having our office that is in Bhubaneswar as well. And in addition to India, we are spread across globally, means whole of the Middle East as well. Here, my question is, because okay, then we have it was an excellent presentation from Indian side, and it is also from the Odisha side. It is also the excellent presentation from Taiwan. Yeah, here, okay, hello. With my experience and what I observed, okay, then with the years, Taiwan is some of the Taiwanese company, like okay, they are champion in seafood, they are champion in manufacturing, and they are also champion in IT industries. Here, okay, then what we have been talking and what we also observed, okay, then when the man-to-man connection and man-to-man interaction happens, okay, then it open up the economy, it open up the investment, it open up the business. That's what, okay, what we have seen since last couple of years, okay, US-India relationship, it has emerged only because of the Indian IT professional. It was the mass migration to USA. It is in the same logic, okay, then the a lot of Indian professionals, they also migrated to UK. That is how, okay, then of late we have noticed US-India relationship, partnership, UK-India relationship and partnership. That's what, okay, then what His Excellency Ambassador said, okay, then the language, that is the Mandarin. Here, okay, then I do emphasize the basic of the relation, what I could foresee, okay, then it can move very smoothly and it will also go in a long run. That is the language. And here, okay, here what I propose, Taiwanese, they hire huge manpower in the fishing industry and marine industry from Vietnam, Indonesia, and Philippines. They hire manpower from the manufacturing.
Sir,
yes, this is my question. Okay, how the Odisha manpower can be recruited to the, okay, we can become the competitive.
Brief, sir. Can you be a little brief?
How the Odisha marine manpower, IT manpower, and manufacturing manpower, they can also be compete with the Filipino manpower, Indonesian. That's what. Okay, yes. Yes, this what is my question. And okay, how the Odia will be migrated to this one, the recruitment sector.
Thank you, sir. So, any specific question on that that will be taken up by whom? Do you want that question to be responded to?
His Excellency. That's what. Okay, then how the Odisha manpower from marine industry, IT industry, and manufacturing industry, they can look for the opportunity in Taiwan.
Okay, thank you. So also,
since I've never been to Odisha yet, it's okay if I ask my colleague Stephen to answer the question on behalf of us. So yes, Stephen,
thank you. Thank you, Ambassador.
Yes. Sorry, because it's a long question. Mr. Karama, can you repeat the question? Because the key point, the question of the question.
The key available in Odisha.
Because now we have one company in this, right? So it's about which kind human resource? It's about high-end engineer or labor?
All type of manpower, let it be skilled, unskilled, and the highly skilled as well. In the marine, in the fishing sector, in the manufacturing sector, and in IT sector.
IT, if in IT sector, because now in Taiwan, we have Hsinchu Technology Park, because they are hire the Indian high-end engineer working in Taiwan. So this is what you want if you export engineer to Taiwan.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the fishing sector, that shipping and the fishing sector, they hire a lot of seamen.
Yeah.
From
if you mention we one by one, if you mention is high-end technology person, because in Taiwan we have one website, it's called Contact Taiwan, CONTACT Taiwan. You can Google this. Then some people want to hire engineer, they will post in there. Okay. And if you mention the seamen, okay, we have 3 shipping company in India. They are based, their headquarters are in Mumbai. It's Evergreen, Wanhai, Yangming. You can directly contact with them.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. I think offline he can take the question, and our office is happy to facilitate that. Any short comment or something is, we are anyway running 10-15 minutes late, extended time. So let's be very specific. May I invite Dr. Sana Hashmi for her comments, if she has any to make.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Honorable MP Sujit Kumar, for organizing this. This is a timely webinar, and I'm so glad to see that the discussion is actually moving beyond Delhi, and states like Odisha is actually taking interest in Taiwan, which is so very important. And I've been in Taiwan for more than a year now. So I wanted to really comment on a question about, someone asked about, there is this conservative culture in Taiwan, and then how, if Taiwanese come to India, how will they react? I don't think the culture in Taiwan, we could actually call it conservative. In fact, Taiwan is one of the most open societies I have seen in the world. But the problem here is there is lack of awareness. MP Kumar has talked about it, Ambassador Ger has talked about it. There is lack of awareness. So Indians are not very well aware about Taiwan, and so is the case with Taiwanese as well. Though of course the situation has changed. Last year we saw there was a lot of unprecedented awareness and talk about Taiwan and India, specifically because of Taiwan's COVID-19 response. But how do we actually sustain this momentum which was built last year? We need to invite more and more Indian scholars, students to Taiwan, and Taiwanese should also visit India. And I think TCC, under the leadership of Ambassador Ger, is doing such a great job. I'm seeing that people are actually aware about Taiwan more. But I'm also reading the comment by one of the other Indians who has been living in Taiwan for more than 30 years, Priya Lalwani. She is an interpreter and she knows Mandarin very well. And we talked about the need for Indian students to come to Taiwan and learn Mandarin and then go back and help the industries. So I think Indians are actually, Indian and Taiwanese, the common people, are bridges between India and Taiwan, and we really need to have this people-to-people exchanges between India and Taiwan. This is so very important, and this is a point which has been highlighted by each and every speaker. So I think we really need to focus on that. Even before we talk about government-to-government interaction, we know one China policy is there. We know there are several obstructions when we talk about India, Taiwan. So in such a situation, how do we move forward? So one solution, and one very important solution, is people. We really need to focus on people. And I believe the Indian government as well as Taiwanese government, they really focus on people. So this is one idea that has been motivated by a lot of people. So I would also like to really invite Priya Lalwani to give her comment, because she is a very old resident, Indian resident in Taiwan, and I think she has a lot to contribute when we talk about people-to-people exchanges.
Thank you, Dr. Sana, for that brief intervention. And please, everyone, keep yourself muted. Yeah. Priya Lalwani ji, if she is there, would like to make a brief intervention, would like to invite you, ma'am.
Hello, thank you all very much for the very good presentations. It was very informative to hear everyone. As Sana said, we have a lot of interaction already happening, but we need to have more. So I've written in the comments, I think there's a large Indian community that's been living in Taiwan for decades. I've been here over 30 years. There've been people who've been here over 40 years, and we're very keen to see India and Taiwan come even closer than they already are. So we organize the cultural festival in Taiwan every year, introducing Indian culture to the people of Taiwan. And it's very well accepted. And people who attend, they learn more about India. And I think, and the Indians who are living here have been living there for many generations. So there are people in their 70s, there are people in their 30s and in their 20s. So they're all age groups. And I think these people can be utilized by both the Taiwan side and the India side to do more work, because these are the loudest voices for India in Taiwan and for Taiwan in India. And it's a very good pool of people. It's a very good talent pool that can be utilized. So I'd encourage both sides, people on organizations on the India side and also those on the Taiwan side, the TCC and the Indian Representative Office in Taiwan, to utilize this group of people, because the Indians who live here in Taiwan love Taiwan and they love India. Similarly, Taiwanese who live in India also love both sides, both countries. So we should really use them. And also in terms of education, the focus has been mostly on the sciences, on IT and engineering. I think for people-to-people contact, it's more about the humanities, the social sciences. So we should have more students interacting on both sides in these areas as well. Thank you.
Thank you for, thank you for that.
And I know you're running out of time. And I was so happy to see when I saw that MP Kumar was a part of the founding member of the Formosa Club. It's so important that we also have this India-Taiwan Parliamentary Friendship Association, which was just reinstated last year. So I'm really hoping, and I'm using this platform to urge that such parliamentarian exchanges should be restored between India and Taiwan. And if I'm here when things get normal, I would like to see a visit of Indian parliaments coming to Taiwan. I think that's so very important. And it's also partly government to government interaction and how parliamentarians could actually motivate government to take step towards Taiwan. So I think that would be a very important step. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us a to-do list as well and to contribute there. Thank you, Sana Mahasmiji. May I request anyone there from the CII Young India team to make a brief intervention or comment?
Just 20 seconds for me. I'm Professor R.K. Padi from IIM Sambalpur. Just I'm telling you, I had visited Taiwan and interacted with many university as well, I think 2018. And what Honorable MP has done is one of the excellent initiative. Just my one point is, IIM Bangalore has one initiative, Indo-Japanese Study Center. So why Taiwan has not established one Taiwan India Study Center in Odisha? Maybe in IIT Bhubaneswar or IIM Sambalpur can be one small initiative from my side to take it further from here, because here there are a lot of things needs to be studied. But for example, maybe government policies, innovations, project management, maybe smart city, maybe some development projects, maybe related to how people interactions can be possible. And there are a lot of good interest among the Taiwanese universities. I have been to Hinsua University and Shuchu University as well. I found lot of university has their MOU with the Chinese universities, but I found the university tie up with Indian university as very nil, as His Excellency has already rightly pointed out. So I'm just proposing one center. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Padi. I think there can be inter-university collaborative units as well, where other university institutions can come together. So that's a very good suggestion.
I think Professor Padi, thank you for that excellent suggestion and proposal. We'll certainly explore it.
Yes.
Definitely. I will pick your brain as well as to how to go about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
MP sir, we are running out of time. And we have. I would like to thank everyone now that we have received some questions both on Facebook and on the chat group as well. So So those questions with intended expert response will definitely be sent to our expert panel through email, and all the responses we'll get, and hopefully we'll be also sharing with our participants who have raised those questions. And offline, there is all the possibility of engagement. Please feel free to email to us at our MP office. If Sunilji, can you please mention the MP office email ID there, so that any discussion with the Taiwanese government, Taiwanese representative in India, and the business facilitation, including partnership with CII, FICCI, and WTC here, so we can actually take that forward. So with these words, I would like to thank everyone, the partners and the participants, and most importantly, our expert panelists who came and shared their ideas and insights into the process, and actually shared a dash of hope that we can actually reach our potential much quicker than we might have expected. So I would like to give the last word to our host, Sri Sujit Kumarji, to say final thank you, and also announce if anything he has to for the next webinar as well on this. May not be a date, maybe an idea.
Well, thank you, Professor Das. Well, thank you, everyone. It has been such a meaningful, insightful, and learning experience, particularly for me. And I'm sure everyone has a lot of things to take away. There were about 100 participants in the webinar, and I think many more were watching this discussion live on Facebook and YouTube. Your Excellency, Ambassador Ger, I would like to invite you to Odisha, and I think post-COVID, once the second wave subsidizes and stabilizes, we'll definitely invite you and a delegation of Taiwan to come and see for yourself the beautiful state of mind and the possibilities that Odisha has to offer. Thank you. We have gone beyond time by 20-25 minutes. Still, I think there is so much of interest, and I see a lot more questions on the chat box yet to be answered, but we can take them offline. Thank you, everyone, again for participating. Thank you, Professor Das, for moderating this session.
Thank you. And Shashi.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Great session, great initiative by the MP, and well moderated by Professor Das.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To connect, press